Hello, my friend. Have you ever gone silent when it mattered most? Walked away from a conversation only to think later, that's what I should have said? Or has your message ever gotten completely lost in translation? Well, you are not alone and you're in the right place. Welcome to Breaking Bad Communication, where we challenge the habits, headspace, and hang-ups that keep you from being hurt. My name is Cathy Reilly. I'm a communication strategist, founder of the Clarity Code, and your guide with over 25 years in the courtroom and another 15 as a speaker, trainer, and entrepreneur. This podcast is your real world playbook for mastering tough conversations, building unshakable confidence, and showing up with the kind of clarity that changes everything from boardrooms to break rooms to your own backyards. Put your seatbelt on. We're going to break bad together. And one of the mistakes that we're going to be talking about today is on communication and the clarity that comes around communication. Communication is currency, my friends. It truly is. And here's the thing that we hear most really, really smart people will connect the dots that communication has a lot to do with your level of happiness. Your ability to communicate ties into your level of success, it ties into relationships, love, all of that, how you are able to communicate. And what's funny is oftentimes I hear and work with people who say things like, well, this thing happened, so I did this. They did this, so I did that. And communication right now that we're seeing out in the world is reactionary. Let me say that again. Communication right now is reactionary. And the reactions are stirring the pot. The reactions are causing trouble because we're not self regulating. So let's talk about this. Has somebody ever raised their voice to you so you did it back? So has somebody even recently, right, said that they're really mad at you, so you're really mad. Their tone of voice goes up, so you go back, right? They roll their eyes at you and you roll your eyes back. Or has anybody ever called you out, right? Because you're rolling your eyes. You're doing a huff. What I invite you, encourage you, and challenge you to do right now is to start paying attention to how you react to any given conversation. Your reaction is a choice. Let me say that again. Your reaction is a choice. Nobody makes you yell. Nobody makes you cry. That's you. Nobody makes you do anything that you don't want to do. At the end of the day, the way you communicate is a choice. It's your choice. And if you don't like how it's being perceived, if you don't like what's going on, then you need to change how you choose to communicate. You need to start paying attention to wait a minute, what's going on? Why am I reacting? How am I reacting? What is the reaction? And is it really what I'm trying to say? Because I got to tell you, most of the time when we are in reaction mode as communicators, what we're delivering, what we're saying is really not what we're meaning. It's not. And right now, people are stirring the pot talking about the Olympics with the hockey teams, the men and women, and the conversation that happened when the men hockey team laughed. All they did was laugh. But laughs can be a huge mistake. And it was, and there's a lot of regrets, and there's a lot of talk about it, which is taking away from what really happened. So knowing that your reaction can negate something amazing, let's step into that. Let's step into how can you show up? How can you start paying attention to what's going on? Communication is currency, my friends. So there's just a few things we're just going to talk about a couple things that you need to start paying attention to. Are you guys ready? Are you ready? Because I know this is good, guys. So words. What are the words that you are using when you're communicating, especially as you get kind of sassy and emotionally charged. And I challenge you to stop using always and never. This always happens. You never do this, right? Never, really? And this is part of the thing with conflict and negotiation and difficult conversations. I always challenge, if you're the receiver of this, never. Do I really never do that? Or do I always? 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 You can't think of a time that I didn't? Right? That's take those words out of your language right now. Always and never. It's not going to help. It's not going to help. It's not. But the words you say matter. But here, keep in mind, words when it comes to communication is less than 10%. So, yes, start paying attention to the words that you're saying and to who you're saying them to because it matters. The words you say and how they land matters on the person you're talking to, right? A laugh could be not a big deal if it's done with the right audience. But when it's not, it doesn't land appropriately. Okay, first thing is words. Second, let's talk about tone. How you say what you say. Are you sharp? Are you steady? Are you curious? Are you critical? Are you defensive? Are you direct? Are you challenging? Your tone of voice sets everything. You can say the same thing 100 different ways just by shifting the tonality and the melody in your voice. So start paying attention to how you say what you say. I can guarantee you have been on the receiving end of the comment. It's not what you said, it's how you said it. Yeah, me too. Been there, done that, bought a t-shirt. Tone implies a lot more than just the words. What happens when we start paying attention is we can shift this. We can shift it and use it in the right direction. The third thing you can pay attention to is your pace. Because when we get angry, when we get excited, when we get anxious, we have a tendency to speed up and then we start talking about, and then it's, the other person feels anxious and whew, they're like, I don't know what just happened. So pace yourself. That matters. That totally matters. With pace also comes pause. Silence isn't awkward. I used to be that way too. I used to use a lot when I'm speaking. Now I realize that's the pause is allows me to think and it allows my audience, the person that I'm talking to think. We've got to think about the conversation we're having. If I ask you a question, I have to allow that pause and that silence to give you the opportunity to respond. Pausing shows confidence. It creates space, okay, for that safety and security and trust, right? You know what you're talking about, don't you? I hope so. So pauses are important. Allow that to happen. Think about facial expressions too. I talked earlier about rolling your eyes. Oh my goodness, if that was something that happened in my household, boy, would we get smacked. And I don't, it's one of those things that I grew up where we would get a spanking. We would get a spanking for doing that kind of thing. So it's kind of been whacked out of me. But what about you? Right? And are you reacting, raising an eyebrow, pursing your lips, doing things that show questionable communication? You're saying things with your face. Just like when you smile and you enter a room, you light it up. Well, and when your eyebrows are furrowed and you got a snarl on your face, well, that sets the tone too. So start paying attention to your face. Body posture goes along with face. How are your hands? How your body? How are you reacting? Are you using your hands? Are you using it in a violent? Are your fists clenched? What is the body looking like? How is it? So when we are able to start paying attention to all of this, we can make a shift into how we show up and react in communication. It's also breath that caused with pace. It's also breath. I can't tell you how many times I've been in meetings, important meetings, where someone in there goes, and I hope you guys can hear that over the microphone. We'll find out later. But they'll take that big breath and they sigh. And I know on a chemical, a physiological level, it's the body's way of reacting to stress. But now that you've done that, you've actually inflicted stress on everyone else within earshot. So it's not really a motivational tool. It's not a good thing. So start paying attention to your breath. Let it be paced evenly, right? Grounded. You're speaking. And so when you're able to pace yourself and then balance your energy is the other thing we're going to talk about, the energy. When you're able to have all of that together, you're collected, right? I talk about I've ridden horses for years. So are you collected? As a human, let's get collected. Let's get collected in our face, in our body, in our energy, in our tone, in our words, in our breath. And let's put it all together so that we are able to communicate effectively. If you want to be effective, these are all the other ways that you are actually communicating. Do you even know this? Most people do on some level. They realize it. But if you are able to start paying attention, it becomes a tool. So you can use this to your advantage. In addition to listening to the other cues that other people are doing. You can see their eyes, their face, their hands. You can feel their energy. When you're able to pull that in and inventory what other people are doing, you can modify how you're communicating. Right. So when you're able to put that all together, and here's, guys, here is the final way that if we put this all together, how do you do this, right? Because half the time we're out there talking and we don't even know what we're talking about or how we're being received. It's kind of like I talk about buying eyeglasses. Like I always go with my daughter or my husband to say, look, I don't have to look at me. You do. What do they look like? Do you like them on me? Right? When we're communicating, how we communicate, we don't see it, we don't know it. It's how it impacts other people. And, with our safe person, we can find a safe person to give us an inventory. But if we don't have that, you can be that safe person. So here's a tool for you. You guys put together a story, some little story that you can talk about for like 3 to 5 minutes, right? Something that is natural for you, that's not a big deal. Maybe it's got an emotional. And I want you to hop on Zoom and I want you to record yourself. Record yourself telling a story. Record yourself actually getting in an argument. Record yourself communicating. Watch how you're doing it, right? Okay, record it, save it. Give yourself at least 24 hours to just let it go, right? And come back to it later. 24, 48 hours. Because here's now you're going to put on the hat where you're actually going to inventory what you're doing. And you're going to do this 3 ways. So as you play back the Zoom, I want you to play it back, just looking at it audio off. Just watch yourself and what you're doing, right? Then I want you to play it back. No video. I just want you to listen to yourself. So hear what you're saying, how you're saying it, your tonality, your joke. Are you getting really, really fast? What's your tone like? All of that. So just start paying attention to yourself. What do you want to see happen or change? Is it good? Isn't it good? What should we change? Right? And then the other thing is you can get a transcript. Zoomy Zoom Zoom has an amazing AI tool. You can get a transcript and then you can read what you say. So I work with a lot of speakers who are, up leveling their business or just getting into speaking. And this is one of the tools that I tell them all the time. You want to improve how you tell your story? You want to improve communication? Listen to yourself, see yourself, read yourself. What are you doing and how are you communicating? Does it fly? Are you making sense? Are you going off on a direction? right? That doesn't, you're like scratching your own head. Ooh, I know. I've been told I do that. I've been told I do that. I will tell you. So I'll go off on squirrel moments and I call them raccoon. There's like sparkly little things that I'm like, ooh, raccoon. So I come back. Oops, sorry. I always say, please forgive me. Let me get back to the point I was trying to make. Pay attention to what you're doing. You guys, this is the key. This is the key to effective communication is to start paying attention to how you are doing it with your words, your tone, your energy. You guys, if communication is the currency, then the attention that you give it is your investment strategy. Invest in yourself, pay attention to yourself, and you are going to see things change. I can guarantee it. And I hope this all makes sense. I hope you are hearing me, what I'm telling you, because I've got to tell you, we need to start communicating at a better level. We as humans right now really need to up level the way we communicate because trust is breaking like that. It's breaking like that. And our ability to trust has been negated by our ability or lack of ability to communicate. People are not trusting each other anymore because we don't know how to communicate. And this is just a small way for you to start paying attention to how you're communicating. So that's all I got for you today. Thank you so much for tuning in to Breaking Bad Communication. If today's episode sparked a new perspective or gave you a tool, well, that's a win for me and a win for you. And I love these kinds of conversations. Remember, powerful communication isn't about saying more. It's not. It's about saying what really matters with confidence, with clarity, and with purpose. So keep going out there, keep communicating, keep showing up, keep speaking up, and let's keep breaking bad together. Giddy up.